it's a gaseous explosion as well, right? So there's a lot of noise that's coming
there's a lot
behind
of
it as well.
bubbles. A lot of bubs.
Yeah, it's like there's like an engine shop next door or something, right? And some kids are just like, firing up something every morning. And like once the engine turns over and you could really hear the rattle going, you know what I mean? Probably like 67 Camaro shooting out the back end, and they're loud, you know what I mean?
Loud, thunderous.
Yeah. Which is great for me.
Welcome back to Show Me Yours podcast. My name is Jackie Agnew.
I'm Johnny DeVito out of the tornado.
And Je m'appelle Ty.
Hey, welcome.
We're in a new studio right now.
We're in a new studio. We're in studio, number 6? Studio number 7?
Oh, we would have to, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7?
Seven.
Studio
Yeah.
number 7.
Number
Numero set. All the way across the country, we've made it to Montreal. We have made it to our new home and our new lovely studio. Joined again. You thought we were done? You thought we were done?
I'm going to be honest with you. I was in the back of the seat of the car the whole time.
I was going to say, man, when we popped that thing, I had to give an air conditioner away to my mom because we didn't have enough room in the car. And I was a little pissed to see you, but I'm happy that you did. You know what I mean?
You didn't take it out. It was just my face.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How are you going to keep us cold in the summertime? But I guess we don't really have to worry about that because it's about to be cold as a motherfucker.
Yeah, that's
in Montreal.
Yeah, so I booked a trip out here to do some comedy, and it just it happened to be like just when you guys were.
Exactly. It was perfect.
So it all worked out. We literally just had our last episode come out with Sam, and then we're gonna have some more in the bag. So I'm so stoked to be here. Love the new digs.
Oh, thank you very much, buddy.
My wall back home looks a little empty, but we're gonna fix that.
Ted Munn's looking at you.
Yeah, this is a sick setup, gang. I'm very happy. And what a fucking town. I've been having a blast so far.
It's so much fun out
so
here.
have we,
The crowds have been great as far as comedy's been going. The rent is so goddamn cheap. Anybody in Vancouver will be happy to know we're saving $800 just sitting where we are right now. So we're living the good life, Ty.
Had to sacrifice the second bathroom, which has been an issue.
Well, for you. For you. Yeah. I can understand how that might come off as a little bit, there's some aggressive.
Stinky,
A little bit stinky, yeah. I'm pretty aggressive, you know what I mean, as far as fire out the back end is concerned. Like the kid is rumbling over there. Like there's.
Okay, well, let's get into it. Johnny, are you a morning guy? Are you a?
He's all the
the
live long day.
All the live long day.
That's a great question, Ty. I'm glad you asked.
Deadpool.
What I basically do, I think, is like a fill and dump. You know what I mean? So like every time I have a meal, like there's a possibility that
immediately after
potentially
the bubbles start bubbling.
Yeah. You never really know, especially if we start boozing. We are going to be doing a couple episodes and then going to a Montreal Canadiens game this evening.
Real talk, and I know this is kind of like weird for some people, but this is like a item on the bucket list for me as far as seeing the Habs in their hometown. So I'm very excited that we get to do this with you guys.
Fuck yeah, man. Yeah. It's going to be fantastic. So there's a potential that you might see me slip off for like, a couple, like, that's the thing too, right? Is it doesn't take a long time when you know what you're doing. So I don't try to like
You're QSC, you're Quick Shitter Club.
Oh, big time. Yeah, I don't inconvenience anybody. You know what I mean?
Except Jackie.
Except Jackie. For sure.
I didn't even see your face, but I could feel it. You're like, is that so, motherfucker?
Yeah, so like basically like whenever like I don't have like reserves that I can store and kind of keep them. It's a go situation basically.
Well, I think that's where your body's at.
100%. Yeah, maybe. So like I don't know if it's like a sphincter that just refuses to hang on. Or
like a duck.
Perhaps my cloaca is just open all the time, and it's just like it's ready to drop, and that's fine. But like not only that, it's a gaseous explosion as well, right? So there's a lot of noise that's coming
there's a lot of bubbles.
Well.
A lot of bubs.
Yeah, it's like there's like an engine shop next door or something, right? And some kids are just like firing up something every morning. And like once the engine turns over and you could really hear the rattle going, you know what I mean? Probably like 67 Camaro shooting out the back end.
Yeah,
And they're
okay.
loud. You know what I mean?
Loud,
No governor.
thunderous.
Yeah. Which is great for me because it's a moment of relief. But then when I walk out of that bathroom, I realize how small of an apartment we're back in now. And I'm like, ooh, you heard all of that. You know, you try to put on a podcast or something, right? But like the bonfire won't cover up, you know, exactly what I'm necessarily doing in there, right? I should probably go to something that's a
Big
little
J
bit
talking over. You need.
I need to go to like
aggressive.
something a little bit more heavy, maybe back to like blast beats or something like that.
There you
Maybe
go.
a little death metal or you know what I mean,
There you
something
go.
that would you know, that would probably kind of drown out that
But then, you need something that sounds like your shit. Essentially, just.
Yeah, exactly. Cannibal
Yeah.
Corpse.
Yeah, you need some cannibal corpse
for sure.
All right.
We're gonna
Yeah,
you know,
we'll
we're gonna be
work
doing
on
that.
that.
But you know,
We'll work on that.
I thought that I was working on it because like since leaving the city, fast food intake is at an all-time low.
That's true.
Happy
That's
to
very
say
true.
that I'm not crushing as much McDonald's. I haven't had a McDonald's breakfast and
Since we moved.
yes,
Wow.
well over
Yeah.
What about, there's no Rickies over here.
There's no Ricky's,
Yeah,
there's no
yeah.
Ricky's, no
No fucking
Benny's,
flapjack. You ain't dipping that fucking syrup and ketchup, you greasy fuck.
I bought I'm making my own pancakes.
Yeah, he's doing it
Oh, you
himself.
piece of
Yeah, that will never stop.
Met a girl the other day that was at a show that she was pouring ketchup all over a poutine.
Oh
and
yeah,
that's a
yeah,
thing
that
for
was
sure.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I-
yeah.
well-
But then you had something to say about it, and I was like, this is rich.
Well- Okay, Ty, if you're gonna go ketchup over a poutine, do you go smother in ketchup or do you go corner for dipping? You know what I mean? Like pile of ketchup in
Just
the corner for dipping.
theoretically, if you were going to do this.
I can't even.
I
I
know
can't
you're
even
not a
possibly
ketchup guy.
wrap my head around that. I mean, I think you would go over top, and maybe a zigzag pattern, a light zigzag pattern over top. But that's tough though because it's like it's such a layered dish.
Well, so my thought is that like if you were going to do this, it would be to like change up the flavor for a couple bites or whatever. You put it in the corner, just you know, to have that option there.
Yeah.
But she smothered the dish over the gravy and the cheese and stuff, just ketchup over
Yeah.
everything.
Now I am a fan how most like of the fast food places here have not necessarily like McDonald's or that, but the more like just own Montreal ones have like Belle Provence and a couple others just have white vinegar on the table at all times.
Yep.
I've been noticing
That's
Yep.
a tight move.
That's nice.
That's a
Yep.
nice move.
Love
dude.
that.
I've been especially with the kind of fries that have been happening here.
Mm.
I've been on a bit of a tour.
Oh yeah, I saw
Yeah,
you with some
they-
crinkles today. There
yeah.
was
Dude.
we've had basically
do.
everything.
Jack Lecoq.
They
tell ya.
they do fries right out here.
They
care,
really
They
do.
care about. I mean, anything that's in a poutine ingredient, they put a lot of effort into.
sure.
No matter if it's in the poutine or not. Like
Yes.
the fries are always going to be
And
dynamite
the
here.
portions have been insane.
That's
for
true.
those
Yeah.
kind of
That's
spots
true.
too.
Yeah.
Quality of the gravy is out of control, and like the flavor of the cheese curd. Now I never really gave a shit about poutine because I'm just a trash
Man,
fire,
you
right?
that squeak,
so, like,
man.
everything always kind of tastes the same. But I have been noticing out here that like there is like some actual like flavor to these cheese curds that I don't notice from back home with your regular bullshit like A&W poutine or whatever. There is like
which is like a decent poutine.
which is a
back
great
home.
poutine. Yeah, exactly. Like I fuck with, like I
but
said,
here it
trash
probably does
fire.
not.
Right, but
Yeah.
you can start to see that there's some complexity out here that you can
Yes.
kind of like you can class it up a little bit, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No,
absolutely
no,
not.
no. There's a lot right with that.
There's a lot right with that. Yes. So give me fucking. I love how we're discussing classes. Like I'm slurping like bowls of poutine, like
Yeah.
bowls of gravy just at the end of it. 'Cause it's basically
Yeah.
just like
That's
a
basically
soup.
what you get. Yeah.
The one
Yeah.
that you got the other night at Hurley's there
Shout out
was
Hurley's, yeah.
literally just a bowl of gravy with like some fries tossed
It
in.
was so good.
poutine at an Irish bar.
Yeah, I mean, it's a choice.
It's a choice. It's a vibe.
It's
But there's a
vibe.
vegan place too, right?
So they do. There's a few places that have vegan poutine
Fuck yeah.
options.
That's
Yeah, yeah. We'll have to try those out.
Any
I've
flashers,
been-
make your way to Montreal. Hit us up. We'll take you to the poutine place.
Yeah.
Jackie probably won't. I probably will.
if there's a vegan option.
There's a vegan
I've been
option.
wanting poutine.
Let's make it happen. I think you need to be a little bit more vocal about things because I don't remember.
All right, we have some. We have a good album to get into, but first we have
Great
some
album.
fun stories. All right, so Man riding farm vehicle arrested for second DUI 17 minutes after release from first DUI arrest.
Where was this?
This
Was
is-
Duke, Alberta. This is my uncle.
This is Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. It's got to be a county. So shit
Yeah.
like that happens in counties.
Yeah, no,
right?
absolutely
Not, Apparently not a dry county.
Yeah.
Not even a little bit.
Yeah.
What was he driving?
So a man operating a farm vehicle in Pennsylvania was arrested and accused of driving under the influence just 17 minutes after he was released from custody for the very same thing, authorities say. The driver, identified a 49-year-old man from Lancaster, was first taken into custody on the evening of September 16th after Pennsylvania State Police said he tried to flee the scene of a crash in a 1974 International Harvester 4000 series.
Yeah.
Classic.
Hell yeah.
So the first DUI was also operating a farm vehicle.
Well, yes, but okay. So is it entrapment in this situation? Because if he's if he's already gotten his DUI and the police haven't towed away his vehicle, how the fuck is he supposed to get home? And let's get serious. A farm vehicle isn't traveling. You know what I mean? At top speeds. So I
Right.
understand that he might have been all the way over the thing.
Apparently you haven't
But
seen
he-
the 1979 Harvest Master,
Oh,
my friend.
what?
That thing fucking
That
motors.
4000 series is,
That's a
reaches
big
a
deal.
steady clip. I think the issue, he was driving it on the roads, I think,
Sure.
which kind of opens you up to the laws of the road there.
The harvester follows his own rules, but at the end of the day, I think that if he was allowed to leave the scene of the first DUI, then you can't fuck him for a second one 17 minutes down the road.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that logic.
So my question is, is he still hammered from when he got brought in, or did he go to a liquor store and was like, let me fucking... here we
Okay,
go.
well, okay. So according to the crash report, the International Harvester and a 2011 Toyota RAV4 were at a stop sign when the farm vehicle backed into the SUV and tried to leave the area. The driver of the RAV4 followed behind, honking to try and get the tractor operator's attention. The driver of the tractor later admitted to police that he had been drinking before getting behind the wheel. Authorities said the suspect was arrested, processed, and released, but he didn't give the officers much time to miss him. Approximately 17 minutes after being released from custody, the man was found to be operating a tractor yet again on the roadway and was placed into custody for a second DUI. Pennsylvania State Police in Lancaster are investigating. Nobody inside the RAV4, including a 2-year-old passenger, reported any injuries after the crash. The vehicle did have moderate damage to the front end. So we don't know what took place in the 17 minutes between being released.
How many
and-
tractors does this guy have laying around the
I
county?
do
Like,
like
I
how they
mean,
also
yeah.
kind of left it up to the 2-year-old to report if he
Yeah.
had any
Yeah.
injuries. Kid, what do
Yeah.
you think? He's like,
Yeah.
the dad's
I
just
like
pissed.
they
He's
did,
like,
yeah.
Go neck.
I like
Go
they
neck.
did. I like how they threw that in there because they're like, okay, no, people reading this article are gonna be like, this guy's awesome, and then they're like, there was a 2-year-old. Yeah.
Okay, it's totally. As soon as you read that, I'm like, well, now this is not
Yeah.
funny.
No, fuck that still team tractor over here. I think that if this guy, I've been thrown in the old drunk tank a couple times. You know
Oh,
what I
yeah,
mean?
bud.
And when it's always like an overnight situation. By the time that you're left out of there, they don't arrest you fucked up and then release you back into the streets fucked up still, right? You kind of
It
it's kind of a
is.
standoff situation.
Both times I've been in the drunk tank,
Mhm.
I was still pretty fucked up when I got released.
Well, I mean, yeah, but
Yeah, so I
definitely
think
not driving.
Yeah, so I think to yeah, and I think maybe to get to clarify the timeline, this isn't like the arrests happened within 17 minutes of each other. This is 17 minutes after he was released. So this might have been an overnight stay. He might have been
Right.
there for hours. So
I just
would
picture this guy in a Grand Theft Auto situation running around the farm counties, just hopping into any tractor and driving it away. Because where the fuck is 17 minutes away? He's found driving a tractor. What do you mean he wasn't parked?
I mean,
in the fucking parking
maybe,
lot?
yeah, maybe his farm is right next door to the police station. Maybe he just
knew he
keeps
could-
one,
he
yeah.
could walk home, but he's like, oh fuck, I got the Harvester 3000 sitting right here, and he jumps in the second one and fucking drives it home. I
Or
think
maybe he
so
did walk
great.
home and then hopped right on the tractor and was like,
like,
I
I
gotta
gotta
run
get
to
some
the
booze.
store, yeah.
Some booze.
and he's got farms to tell. The man's an American hero. Okay, this is the bread belt of North America. He feeds. he puts food on all of our tables.
And that's not a new tractor, so presumably this man has been like maintaining this tractor himself. Like this is a working man.
Oh, for sure. What's going to happen from this is that he's just fed up now with the government just always stepping in and always stepping in. He's going to turn that tractor into some kind of a tank. And
you think we're going to get some real...
this is an origin
Waco
story.
situation on our hands?
Yeah. I said this is an origin story.
Oh, this is an origin. Yeah, because if you guys
something similar happened in Oregon.
Something happened.
In
I
like
don't
the
know
cabin,
where.
right? In like a cabin somewhere.
Well, basically, some guy had been like fired from his job and his house repossessed. Like the bank kind of came after him. So basically, what he did was he like fortified this vehicle, basically turned it into a tank, right? And he had like like poured like concrete, made concrete walls and shit. It's the greatest footage of all time because he just terrorizes this neighborhood, but he only fucks up buildings that the bank owns. So he like fucks up like a mom and pop shop and like a gas station and then like a bank itself, and like he just fucking like misses shit that the bank doesn't own and fucking kind of goes on a rampage around the town. And it's I think they ended up shooting him in the thing because it was pretty fucked up. Like it was like it was rampage, but there is a moment of that story that is just like the fuck yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can pick out a moment from any story and be like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, before it turns, you know what I mean? That's I guess like the
before you find out there's a 2-year-old in the RAV4.
Yeah.
That's just a good story arc, right? But I think that when a man is pushed to the limits and he's fed up and he's going to come, turn on his own government, this is how those kind of stories happen.
Right.
From 2 DUIs in 17
Is Lancaster County, is that like an Amish area?
I think Pennsylvania, they're all over the place over there. But
Yeah, I wonder if this man is a simpleton. Not that Amish.
You just called Amish people retarded.
Jesus Christ.
They're not listening.
They can't.
Yeah. Like, safe.
They're listening. They're sinning.
Yeah.
You're sinning. What's up?
Yeah.
I think that if there's any like solace or whatever that we can find in this story, it's that this man is going to live to drive again. Right, so like the thing is that in a true warrior spirit, do you think that this man's going to go down not swinging? Because I hope that he defends himself. Like I want to see court footage when he shows up to explain himself to the officer. Because like on paper it looks bad.
I hope he drives to court in another tractor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, he clearly
like a
doesn't.
6-pack by just one of the rings. He's already had a couple already.
Yeah, he clearly doesn't own any other type of vehicle.
No.
Yeah.
Yes. No. Why would you at that point, right? You're building the bread belts of America.
Yeah.
At this point, you know what I mean?
Wonder what kind of farm it was.
I hope that he's actually, it's an active farm and they're actually putting out,
They grow a lot in Pennsylvania.
What do they grow?
They grow a lot of button mushrooms.
Button mushrooms.
The white button mushroom is like, I think, coined in Pennsylvania. Like the first guy who managed to make it, and then it's one of the only ones that they can grow in the dark.
I always wondered. Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
It's like the button mushroom in itself is like it's not something that you find like in nature, like that I think I've ever seen or whatever. But it's the most common mushroom in a grocery store.
Yeah, the
It's
cheapest.
just a portobello. You know
Oh,
that?
Yeah,
It's
what?
the same mushroom
of
at
life.
different stages of
That's
growth.
right.
Oh.
Yeah, like the little brown, like the cremini or whatever. It's just an
Paul
older
Stamets, there's a whole there's a
That's
whole conspiracy
interesting.
theory about Big Portobello dominating the mushroom grocery world. And
Portobellos
and
are
us and
expensive.
all that sort of stuff.
that
Yeah, it's very
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. Paul Stamets got a really good thing on Rogan about that.
I mean, we
He
battered
like
him
doesn't
Friday.
want to talk about it. He's like, I can't talk anymore about
Really?
this. Rogan's like, are you fucking serious? Yeah.
Paul Stamets gonna wake
Yeah.
up with a hole in his head
For
Big
real, dude.
Portobello.
Yeah, dude, Big
Mushroom
Portobello's the
shape.
real deal,
Yeah.
dude.
Fuck yeah, if they're in Monsanto's pocket. You
Yeah,
never really
that's
know what's
kind of what the deal
A
is. Yeah.
portobello-sized hole in his head.
That is fucking crazy.
But yeah,
That bullet went right through that mushroom head of his. Thought it was strong enough.
Well, have you ever seen what happens to a bullet after it travels through a body? It kind of mushrooms itself out too. Right?
Hey,
So,
there you go. Yeah.
Leave one of those on your desk as a warning.
yeah,
Oh.
okay.
Well, the warning's already been because it went through your fucking head first.
Yeah.
Listen
Yeah.
up here. We're with Big Portobello. We have nothing bad to say.
Yeah, no,
Fuck,
we
fuck
love
that, man.
portobellos. Had a
Speak
bunch
for
in
the
our
whole Show Me
fridge.
Yours podcast when I say that we don't want no problem with Monsanto.
Yeah. Just made last night after the show. Made pasta.
Made a little
Made a little
Little
pasta.
bucatini, bad boy,
Yeah, I
that's it.
made a little sauce and put some
Ooh.
sliced up some portobellos and put them right in there. It was pretty
It's not a noodle night for Jackie. Oh, this is
Yeah,
Sounds like it'd be a little bit of
abundant.
heartburn
I
for
told
Yeah.
I told the lady about because she knows about the Boston Brutes thing. She's like, "What did Jackie have that whole time?" And I'm like, "Oh, just this pasta." I go, and she fucking loved it. I go,
Yeah.
she's like, "Oh, so you guys just don't think about where she can eat?" I'm like, "No, you don't understand. She really thoroughly enjoys the pasta pizza."
When when we were driving from Vancouver to Montreal, our first night, we stopped in Strathmore, Alberta, which is like a suburb of Calgary, and we get there late. It was a long day, and fucking nowhere is open. The only place we could find open was like an A&W, and we had A&W for lunch. We're like, fuck, I can't like eat another A&W
Yeah,
right
as you
now.
drive across the country, you realize that A&W really has the strongest
A&W
foothold.
has a stronghold on. It's insane.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
A&W and Subway.
It's a great
fucking-
Subway for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a great fast food place, but it's pricey.
It is
Oh, fuck
pricey.
yeah, it is.
But A&W and Subway and Boston Pizza fucking everywhere, and that was the only other place in this town that was open. So we did have Boston Pizza our first night on the road
and
there,
I went
and
back
it
to
was
the Brute, and I can only
he
get
did
about
he
halfway through it.
You messaged me. You were like,
Yeah,
man, I'm
yeah.
about halfway through this thing, and it's not happening. I can't think I could look at one anymore.
It ruined my fucking life, and I actually started like a bad. You know, I by the time I ate that in Alberta, and I was shitting behind the car. By the time we got to Ontario, so it was a rough kind of go. Just for my belly, just eating bad foods. And stuff.
yeah, but I fucking wolfed down that plate of pasta so quick.
Oh, yeah.
It was so good.
I can feel the joy.
It was
impressive.
so
Out of
good.
you.
It's something about because like the fucking pasta is always like egregiously overcooked. Like it's so soft, but it's something about it that's so good. Just like smothered in tomato
Well,
sauce.
then it just like kind of mushes. You just like push
Yeah.
it.
It's always
penne,
tongue
right?
against the roof of
Always
your mouth.
penne. Yeah,
Penny's great
yeah.
pasta. It's one of the best because you get the
Yeah.
little pockets of sauce that travel within
Oh
the tube.
man,
I
we've been
love it,
fucking
right?
with bucatini lately, and oh my
The
god,
exact same thing,
Ugh.
just on a longer. You know, if you
Yeah.
take this penny and just stretch the fucker right out, like
Yeah.
it's thinner, and you know what I mean. There's something for it to hold in there. It's a little
Bucatini's a good time.
toothsome.
Mhm.
You know
So
what I mean?
good.
Step your noodle game up. I'm a big spaghettini fan, or like angel hair and stuff like that. I
Oh,
like it really
love
thin.
angel
But
hair,
you
yep.
know, and at the end of the day, like depending on your sauces and what you're putting into it, right? There's so much, variables that change like a delicious plate of pasta, right? And I think it's up to you as an Italian or just a good pasta fan to have a variety in your kitchen.
Totally. Yeah. We've also been having a lot of gnocchis. Let's see. Yeah. All right. Got another fun story before
what
we
you
get
got
into
for
the
us?
album here. Woman sues Disney after painful wedgie at Typhoon Lagoon.
Oh, what? Yes, let's
Yes.
go.
So this gets into a whole fun sort of offshoot of stories, but we'll start with the facts. Orange County, Florida. A woman filed a lawsuit against Walt Disney Parks and Resorts on Wednesday, claiming she suffered serious injuries through a painful wedgie at Typhoon Lagoon years ago, according to court records. She's just getting around to this now.
Priorities.
Yeah.
When Disney, I think, is going to take a little while for it to get
To gather all the facts, yeah.
Yeah,
The
they
law-
got so many lawyers. Like you're going to go after them, you go hard.
Yeah, the lawsuit said the woman visited the park in October 2019 for her 30th birthday, and she decided to ride the Humunga Cowabunga. Which, if you're riding the Humunga Cowabunga, you better, you're gonna get a wedgie.
Yeah.
Like, you're
Well, like
What are you doing wearing
describe the slide,
underpants?
It describes
Yeah.
the slide, and it
Oh,
sounds. gnarly
yeah,
as
a large high-speed water slide featuring a near-vertical 5-story drop. That's fucking insane.
fuck. Yeah, that's
5
doesn't
stories.
sound right.
Yeah, as instructed at the top of the slide, she got in while just because we're 8 stories up right now. So that's like 5 stories is pretty fucking significant.
Yeah, so could you imagine
Yeah.
like the third floor, like it start to kind of like slope and mellow out so that
Yeah.
you can just kind of keep fucking way.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Why
I'm
are you
not
wearing
about it.
Yeah.
underpants to that part?
Well, I think it was a bathing suit. It was a bathing suit that
Okay, well,
that
alright.
wedged. As instructed at the top of the slide, she got in while crossing her legs at her ankles, though she was slammed downward against the slide while riding down, the lawsuit claims. According to the court filing, The impacts of the slide caused her swimsuit to be painfully forced between her legs and for water to be violently forced inside her.
Nice.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
That is-
man. I'm surprised they didn't use the R word there.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
5-story drop. If you're not
Yeah, it's
clenching
fucking-
every muscle,
Yeah,
in your
you better
body
fucking
and
cross
bracing for
those
impact,
legs
like,
tight.
How open is your butthole and vagina at this
Yeah.
This is
As
a lack
a-
of Kegels. is
I'm
what you're
just
saying.
saying.
Yeah. As a result, she immediately suffered severe internal pain. Court records indicate she was taken to a hospital and treated by a specialist for the injuries. What specialist is this?
I don't know.
You
What do
know,
you think?
a
2
water
years? How
vagina?
much-
The humunga
how much water
cowabunga?
vagina? Walter Vagina.
Doctor.
Ultimately, suffering severe lacerations, damage to her internal organs, and a hernia, according to the lawsuit. The lawsuit accuses Disney of negligence for not warning riders about the risks of the water slide and not informing riders about proper protective swimwear. Woman is seeking compensation for damages over $50,000.
All right.
So
a 5-story enema. Like, could
yeah,
you
like that.
imagine?
I mean, like, so when
No consent.
we were when we were driving, we were listening to a lot of podcasts, and there was one podcast that went deep into this subject of various water slides around the
No
world.
accounting for taste with Canadian
Yeah,
James
they
Suarez, and
talked
yes,
deeply,
yeah.
and so there was one water slide in particular that they got into where women are banned from riding this water slide
That's
because
true,
yeah.
because of the internal injuries that could happen when you're
Oh my
yeah.
God.
So this is
You
not
just
a
tape it off? Or?
That's a great fucking question.
yeah.
Right? Because if it's like, how susceptible is your vagina to taking in water? Because everybody has a butthole that's going down that slide.
But
You know?
yeah, butthole like I mean kind of closes up a bit
Speak
more.
for yourself.
Yeah. I'm not
I
so
think-
sure about that.
Buttholes are historically speaking tighter than vaginas
Yeah,
in
you
general.
Put your butthole, you put
They-
your ear up to my butthole, you hear the ocean. That's,
Well, yeah, you're
That's not
you're
the
you're the
ocean.
exception to
That's
the
the
rule.
screams of an
Yeah,
asylum.
yeah, those are the bubbles. Yeah,
the bubble factory.
yeah.
They call me Bubble Boy.
It's like a
Yeah.
doorbell.
Yeah.
And they call me Bubble Boy.
I'm just gonna do my next half as like a crooner that just sings dirty songs about taking
I'm
shits.
pretty
It's gonna be
Yeah.
fan of it.
Yeah. So this, yeah, I
that's
mean
rough.
that's brutal. Maybe
It's
they'll,
tough go.
yeah, 5-story drop. It's so weird.
How much water do you think you get in there?
In my vagina.
We got a funnel here, yeah. Like we could probably try to figure it out, but like how much? Like I mean, because it's gonna be forced in there too. That's an interesting thing.
Well,
about
that's the
water
thing,
is
is, like,
there's
how
an
much-
air compressor, right?
Yeah.
you
Yeah, you're not
compress
doing
air,
this gentle
you can't
pour.
compress
Yeah.
water, right? So like it's gonna water becomes you, or you become water, as Bruce Lee would say.
Yes,
Mm. Right.
you would.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
So, but when water becomes
I believe that was the end of the quote, actually. Where
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
your
yeah.
vagina on a slide.
Water
You
becomes
put water in a
you.
cup, it becomes the cup. You put water inside a woman's vagina, it becomes the vagina.
Yeah, pretty sure that's what the quote was.
100%.
Yeah. I think
100%.
that's the larger context
that's
of what
actually
he was
the way of the
talking
dragon.
about.
That's what it was referring to.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
dragon's got a whole new meaning.
100%
Yeah.
it is. But what do you think? Like, I mean, okay, so let's like account for like different body types and different whatever. But like, I mean, like 750 milliliters. Like, if you're looking at a bottle that it was in, say, in like in a drink container in like a grocery store or like a corner store. You're going to the
Okay.
dep right now, right? And you're looking at it. Don't be modest. What's like 750 mils? What are we talking here?
I have no. I mean, like, cause I'm not really. I don't know, like, where does it stop, like, going? Like, if you're putting, like, liquid inside, like, how deep
I'm
can
sure
you
it
get in there? Can it
disperses out,
exactly?
Yeah, more so than like a bottle or a
Yeah.
dip. Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, like, a bladder can hold a lot of liquid.
Yes.
But can you reverse and put, like, liquid in the bladder, like, bottom up?
From a plumbing standpoint, I think there would be things that we would call backflow prevention devices. You know what I mean? To stop any damage from like something like that occurring. So, I mean, the human body is pretty sophisticated, so I would assume that it'd be tough.
Sorry, it's what?
Pretty sophisticated.
You really stumbled over
Yeah.
that word.
Oh, really?
It's pretty sophisticated.
Run the tape back. I said sophisticated.
Oh, please run it back.
You got it out for sure,
Yeah.
but it was.
Please run it back. I would love to.
Enunciate your words, John. Thanks,
It's
guys.
pretty sophisticated.
It's a pretty sophisticated machine. So yeah, like, I would be, surprised if there wasn't some kind of like backflow capabilities. God damn it, I'm fucking up words.
No,
I
understand
feel
that.
like there's something that prevents water going in, which I mean it's not good.
The damage has to be coming from like the
the force, because it's not
yeah.
because there's suffice to say that 5 stories worth of water rushing up there is too much.
That's like 200 super soakers.
Yeah, that's
Exactly, right?
I
Because
was
if you're
gonna
actually
say,
having
that
turtle
seems-
damage,
I think
and, like,
it's a little light,
lacerations
yeah.
and shit, you know what I mean?
Especially
Like,
for Disney.
and especially if she had to see the specialists and get a
Yeah,
lot of
you gotta go
medical
see the
work
water
done. Like,
vagina
does this
doctor
woman
and-
have insurance? This happened in the States. Like,
Of course, right? All these
Yeah.
things factor in. Like, if she's just trying to cover the bill, she's like, look, Disney, no harm, no foul. You know what I mean? That was Humunga Cowabunga.
this is
I get
Typhoon
it.
Lagoon, and so I have been to Typhoon Lagoon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when we went to Disney World, I don't remember. I don't think I rode the Humunga Cowabunga.
No,
I
so
would have
you
been
left
like,
with like less water or more water inside you think, than when you got there.
I mean, probably. I think you leave with more water inside of you if you're at a water park for any
Yes.
extended amount of
Very
time. There's
true.
going to be water
There's
in
gonna be water
in there. You're going
I
to
mean, we
take
went to
on
West
some
Edmonton
water.
Mall. We went to West Edmonton Mall and the Blue Ball, and
Oh,
let me
yeah.
tell you.
Oh, yeah.
boy,
I still got
yeah.
a little bit of
But I mean, I hope this woman gets her bag. Especially, why is she not going for more when Walt Disney? So I have some beef with Disney lately because this is like one of the most successful, powerful, richest companies in the world.
Yep.
But they cannot make a fucking streaming app that works.
save their fucking life. Like, you
Disney Plus is the absolute worst app.
Yep, and it
It's
doesn't
so bad.
It doesn't stream when you want to fucking stream. It doesn't go from episode to episode like you'd fucking want it to or whatever. We're watching whatever the fuck we're watching, then all of a sudden it switches to.
Oh no, that was Paramount, which was we're fucking we're watching Survivor, of course. New episode last night. Oh my god, are you caught up?
No.
Okay, never mind. I was about to be like, should we watch it before? Okay, no, never mind. We would have to go back. But we were watching fucking Survivor on Paramount Plus, and like after every episode, it doesn't just continue into the next episode. It stops completely, and then you have to go back, find the next episode, and play it. But then, when we were watching the newest Survivor season, and we get to the end of the last episode.
I miss those.
We get to the end of the last episode, so there are no more Survivor episodes left. And like and so up to this point when we're like season 30, there's all these Survivor episodes ahead of us. We finish an episode, we have to go back, select the next one. It doesn't continue playing. But you get to the very end of Survivor, season 45, the latest episode that has aired. You get to the end of it, and what does Paramount Plus do? It gives you 5 seconds before it starts playing Frasier from episode 1.
Oh, man. Like they think that we want tossed salad and scrambled eggs. We fucking don't.
It doesn't make
You aren't
any
excited for the new
fucking
seasons, I
sense.
guess.
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Oh, that's there needs to be a longer time for that.
Yeah, but
Reminds me of like back in the day when you'd watch The Simpsons and on like CBC or CTV or whatever that, and then MASH would come on.
Yeah.
And you
Oh.
hear doo 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 doo, and you'd be like,
Do, do, do,
you gotta switch to the Fox or something like that. Banger song, an absolute banger. But when
That
you were a
was-
kid, you were
yeah.
like, fuck this show. I don't understand why people
My,
in Vietnam are wearing dresses. What's happening?
that was my parents
Never
loved that
understood
show.
It was like even supposed to be comedic 'cause I never gave it like enough time to watch, I would just like see like the opening intro, be like, I gotta get the.
Yeah, and it's like now you get older, you realize that it is like this. I've never seen like a lot of MASH, but it's like I mean, Alan Alda, it's the whole thing.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of it because my parents fucking loved that show, so it was always on. And they, like you said, MASH was always on television for so many fucking years after. It's probably still playing somewhere on television right now.
Yeah.
But so my parents loved that show, so it was always playing. But yeah, as a kid, I was like, I don't get this at all. And it would come on like after Friends or whatever, after Seinfeld. It would just go right into MASH, and I'd be like, I don't just get this at all.
I
Yeah.
like play blocks of them too. So like we watch like a TV guide or whatever, be scrolling and shit, and like blocks of MASH. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
On the TV guide too, it always had the little stars, like the
Yeah.
logo had.
Oh yeah. You
Yeah.
got it.
like
Yeah.
if you're calling in sick or whatever, or getting the chance to have a sick day from school, and your mom's
Calling in sick
I
at
call
school.
in sick all the time.
Yeah,
Texting-
teacher, it feels so good.
Texting the principal. Yo.
I ate a lot of pastrami last night, and
It's
I
bubbling
got
up.
the shits this morning. I won't be
They-
coming into grade
Yeah.
2 arithmetic.
They call me Bubble Boy.
Tell Jeannie I think she's cute. She sits a couple seats up from me.
Tell her I'll be there for nap time, and then I'm getting the fuck out.
Yeah, maybe I'll pop in for recess. I don't know.
We'll see if they play anything other than MASH on the television.
Listen, if you see me, you see me. Let's just say that.
I'm gonna watch a couple episodes of The Price is Right, and then maybe a couple of MASH.
Taking some MASH. Trying to get
But that would be the shittiest thing, because you're just like
The
getting
young
excited to watch
DeVito.
a whole day of fucking TV, and then MASH is just all over daytime TV, and you don't get a chance to like.
Actually enjoy it. After The Price is Right, you're kind of fucked. If you weren't, I mean, gradually Maury. Gradually
yeah,
Maury. was the savior of
yeah,
Springer.
Jerry Springer, Price is Right, Jeopardy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those, I mean, it was so funny as a kid staying home because daytime television is not what kids want to be watching at all. And so you just end up watching like these weird fucking shows that they
These
play.
grandma fucking.
Yeah, exactly. You're just like a fucking 5-year-old pretending to be sick watching
I don't know.
fucking Price is Right.
Like, like Maury's like, fucking find out
Yeah.
who the father is, or
Yeah.
like just like parading a bunch of trans women out there to see who's a guy and who's not a girl.
Yeah.
Episodes were
There's some
wild, like,
fucking wild
Yeah.
episodes for sure.
crazy shit going on there.
Yeah, Ellen show was a big one too. A lot of Ellen. Watched a lot of Ellen in those days for sure.
All right. After a little technical difficulties, I thought the microphone was going to set me on fire there for a second. but-
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an
Alright.
actual spark.
Yeah. All right, shall we get into the album?
We shall get into the album, gang. Today we're talking about 2019's Graveyard Island from Grade 2. A fantastic punk rock band from England who I think is like the perfect sounding punk band. I think if there was like aliens came and they were like, "What is punk rock? Give
You'd
us
be like
one."
this.
Yeah, I'd be comfortable if it was up to somebody else and they gave them this record. I'd be like, all right, that's fuck yeah. You know what I mean? It's that good. They are some of the most like hard-working kids in the scene right now. I think this album, Graveyard Island, came out in 2019. They have a brand new one that is out. I think in the past like year or two through Hellcat Records, but that's the one that is I think the most popular. So like
Okay.
I think if somebody's going to be interested in getting into this band, I think start with some of this early stuff because it is still great, and the new stuff on Hellcat, it's all fantastic, right? I think it's like just really like the quintessential perfect sound. I don't know, it's hard to describe any other way than like just the right thing that you want to hear. It sounds incredibly familiar in like a great way if you're into punk rock. When I was at Punk Rock Bowling earlier this year, I don't even remember who was headlining the show. These guys opened one of the shows that I was at,
Nice.
and that's what I remember from that evening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, my pops was there. The whole gang was there. We were
Where
all
are they
kind of
from?
blown away. They're from this place called the Isle of Wight, which
Okay.
is hilarious. But
Okay.
it looks like a little island off the coast
In
of
the
England
UK.
somewhere.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
a little place I imagine very hard-working blue-collar town from what I've seen.
It was
of
sick.
them.
I mean, I obviously just listened to it on the metro on
Yeah.
the way here.
Oh,
On my way here, I put that on. A little English punk rock for the francophone here. And it
We're
was
gonna
dope.
need
It
you to
sounded
cut
like a
that out.
very like an old punk record.
Yeah,
is what it
straight
was. The
forward
vibe
old
Yeah.
punk
for sure.
rock record for sure. And there just has this kind of like you could tell like the work ethic is in these fucking guys. If you watch their tour schedule has been nonstop from when I saw them in May in Las Vegas. They were kind of touring. I think they went back to England, came back for like an American tour, did a show, I believe one in Toronto and one in Montreal, or maybe a couple in Canada, but not didn't make it over to the west coast of Canada. But then immediately after that, they're back in like Spain and Italy and doing all that shit now with like another UK tour like planned out. So like their tour schedule is like absolutely insane. There's something about a three-piece band in any rock and roll or any punk rock.
Power trio.
Exactly. You know what I mean? When like that's all you need. It's not necessarily missing anything. It's stripped down. It's raw enough, but it's also like they're just fucking incredibly talented. And you can see that. I think they were like doing like cover stuff. Like they've been playing since they were young.
Yeah.
And I think that's like really apparent when they like get on stage. There's they go wireless with their guitars and shit, so the two guitar and bass are just constantly switching to each other's microphones and rocking each other like back and forth or whatever, right? So they have like amazing stage presence and a fucking killer live show, and really nice dude. I met one of the guitar players, or the guitar player, when we were at the merch booth there, and we just kind of struck up a little chat for a little bit. Bought that T-shirt that you see now.
That little T-shirt.
Yeah, the first punk rock show of Montreal.
Yes, very
sick.
Very exciting.
Okay, very fitting.
Very
All right,
exciting.
nice.
At this fucking great venue called Foufon.
Yeah,
Fun.
Fantastic. There's like two venues upstairs and a great bar downstairs where like beers are like $4 or something.
Listen,
like that. It's fucking
every
incredible.
fucking bar here is like, yeah. As a non-drinker, I'm like, this is sick as fuck.
Yeah,
I mean, love this.
Yeah,
Like,
there's been some expensive ones, but like, yeah, when you fucking find the good
there's
ones.
just been some
yeah.
great. It's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, there's
Great vibes.
Yeah,
Good
definitely.
vibes.
And I like it's definitely like a drinking town. There's like a beer and a shot is like the special at
Which
most
is
places and
crazy.
stuff like
Everywhere,
that. Right?
even
Which
when
is-
you don't want one. She's
Yeah.
like, it comes with it. It comes
Yeah.
with it. It just brings us fucking shot.
which is fucking great, right? So I was, you know, Johnny's out there trying to make friends, right? And honestly,
Yeah,
the
that
person
Johnny
I
is.
talked to the most was the guy from this band, who was the nice,
That's dope.
probably the nicest guy there that would shoot the shit. And I think that in the sense of like getting older, and like I'm a big fan of you know what I mean, not just punk rock. It definitely like takes up a lot more of my time, right? But I see like a lot of other genres maybe like going in a direction that I'm either like not ready for, or maybe it's not like catching my ear in the way that it should. Like there's there's a lot of hip hop right now that I just really don't care for, or it's not like, you know, exciting me. And the same thing I think with a lot of like I don't know, poppier kind of stuff too, right? Like there's but if this is like, these guys are on my team, I feel, and I'm like fucking stoked for the future of like the genre of music that I love, because if these guys are a part of it, then it's awesome, right? And they've been now brought on to Hellcat Records, which I read something on the internet which is very funny, that these guys, Hellcat doesn't sign everybody. Hellcat's like run by Tim Armstrong from Rancid,
Right.
And they don't, like, they used to have like a pretty strong roster with like a lot of releases coming out, but they don't necessarily do that anymore. And the bands that are on are like the Interrupters, who fantastic to see them like getting radio play and shit now, kind of like a ska, you know, kind of poppy band. They're fucking fantastic. And then Grade 2, for whatever reason, this fucking band just gets on. Yeah, with like a label that has the reach and reputation that it does, is pretty fucking cool to see them kind of take on some kids. These guys are like 25 years old.
That's dope.
Right? So to see them have like this string of releases where like this isn't, I think the one that we're talking about here, Graveyard Island, is like their third album. The ones that I have, Mainstream View coming out in 2016, Breakthrough Routine in 2017, Graveyard Island 2019, Graveyard Island Acoustic Sessions in 2021, and self-titled Grade 2 in 2023. Like, these guys are on a fucking tear,
Yeah,
right?
they're fucking doing it, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Goddamn.
Yeah, and you know, there's not each. It's not like each record gets like they're not necessarily like they have their sound. You know what I mean? I think, which is like exciting, and they're like gonna like take it over the world. Where a lot of other bands like say like the Flatliners or whatever are like kind of growing and experimenting and doing new different shit or whatever, right? I do like a band that's like kind of like, no, this is what we do. This is meat and potatoes
Do
kind
it
of
real
punk rock.
fucking well.
That's
The old
that's your
AC/DC
favorite.
syndrome.
That's my favorite thing.
You're like, yeah, I like how the
I think I
Flatliners
enjoy
are
that.
growing.
You know, I think I've come to learn that I might enjoy those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what you do.
Yeah.
You haven't had distaste for people growing and changing.
I really don't. I'll grow to accept it after the fact, yeah. But you know what I mean? As like, you know, I guess as an idiot, as a dummy, you know what I mean? I've come to appreciate like a certain thing. I have like a fine taste for like certain wines. And then when it comes in and it's a little bit, there's a little bit hidden notes of other stuff in there, some little hints of different shit.
like
that
that.
At first I don't. Like, Ty, we're going to talk about a record that you brought in where when you put it on, it took me like 10 minutes for me to not be like, I'm like, no, like, hey, let it happen. Let it break through things. Yeah, when I first,
That's weird too, doesn't it?
it
It's like
is.
weird
It's a little
sounds
bit
and
weird,
shit,
and so it's not like necessarily.
Then I tell him like, listen to this track. You're like, I wish you fucking told me.
Yeah.
Listen to 40 minutes of this goddamn thing.
Of just spacey wild shit, right? But if you know what I mean, I've just like for me in particular, that's just my bullshit, stance on, what I do when I go to press play, right? Sometimes I want to explore, sometimes I want to, kind of like feel like nostalgic or just kind of go to what I know. And if this is like coming out, in the past like few years, or with their self-titled record coming out this year, if it fits like perfectly in my record collection of shit that I was listening to 20 years ago, then it's awesome. You know what I mean? I think that's really cool. So I'm very excited about it for that. But if anybody, wants to like grow or explore or try new things, then go somewhere else. Honest opinion. So what do you guys think?
Yeah. I mean, it sound. I understand why like you like it so much. It sounds like a band that you would love. And I enjoyed it as well. I don't mean that I didn't enjoy it, but like it's like you said, it's like exactly the kind of music that you enjoy. So I understand, and it's cool when you find something that like fits exactly into what you like, but it's still like a new like discovery. Or
Yes,
whatever.
I think that's really important too. Is that it's not like you can't just like throw it on the heap with the rest of them and it just like mixes right in. Like it stands very well on its own. It's its own thing for sure. But just done like the perfect way with the perfect kind of seasonings that I'm looking for when I look for music.
There are good seasonings in it.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a better chance to kind of dive into it. Because, like I said, I just kind of listened to I'm in a new town.
Yeah.
I was on the metro.
New
so
sights,
I'm like,
new
kind of that
sounds.
half,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
whatever. But I'm
Your
getting my...
Opus card?
Yeah, but my Opus card, hein? C'est notre cremoisie. I've been all over that orange line, man. The orange and green. Those have been my two jams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Green is green's where it's at.
Green's a good time. Green's a good time. You want to skip all the downtown bullshit.
Yeah.
one
The
end to another.
fucking like the metro here is so nice.
Unbelievable
Oh my
how rad
God.
it is.
It's so nice.
So I didn't have a full-on listening experience, but it was quite easy to put on.
For sure.
I'd be like, all right, this is,
Yeah.
it's good. It's a good, like, it felt like a classic punk rock album. It even sounded like it a little bit.
Yeah.
It wasn't like overly produced
Totally.
sounds and tones of the guitar and stuff, and bass. So, and the snare actually, it was like, it just seemed all pretty, like, pretty good standard punk rock shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like
With
it's
a bit of
tough
that
where it
UK
needs to
flair
be
from it.
tough, and it fucking has like melodic where it needs to be melodic. You know what I mean? There's kind of like anthems. There's like, like great sing-alongs and stuff like that. Like this is that, like that record that, if you're in like a working class bar or whatever, you could put on. It's like rock and roll with a little bit of edge to it. You know what I mean? Right? Somebody, nobody's gonna get stabbed at this bar, but somebody's probably gonna get into a fight. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
kind of, you know what I
Maybe
mean?
bottled.
Maybe bottled. Yeah.
A bottle will be broken. Yeah.
But like like that being said, I think that like they blend that perfect blend of like kind of like working class kind of like rock and roll punk rock and like oi, I think is that like
Oi?
fucking
Yeah, I get some Oi vibes for sure.
definitely right. I think you'll see like a lot of well, I mean, there's a skinhead on my shirt that I bought from. They're into that like working class kind of
Like classic, like English kind of old school.
Oh
British.
yeah, right. And they dress the part too. They're wearing Doc
Yeah.
Martens and fucking skinny jeans and suspenders and shit. They're like, you guys fucking rule, man.
Just think of your Clash impression where you're like, man, London's
London's different than what it used to be. People in the streets.
totally that working class.
It's perfect.
Yeah,
that's exactly
so good. That's fucking
embodied
good.
it. I think if Joe Strummer was around today, he'd be like,
I
all
just
right,
love it
boys.
because there's so many people that like fucking idolize Joe Strummer and his lyrical ability and what he talks about. And
Oh, yeah.
Jackie just sums it up so perfectly, like, it's different than it used to be.
I have sweat on my brow right now because I don't want to go into it. Like, let her have her thing.
London's changing. London's different.
Because like if you do like a Joe Strummer to piss me off, and I'll do a Kiedis to piss you off.
Yeah.
There's-
California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not even close.
Real men don't kill coyotes. But I don't
Well,
do impressions.
If there's one thing we can all take away, it's that Flea is a vegan.
Yep.
If there's one thing that everybody needs to know from this, yes, it's that respect your body by listening to good music and respecting your ears
Sure.
first. Hey,
Hey.
found something.
Cool.
Yeah. So what should we land the plane?
Yeah.
All right. If you guys
Consider
are
it
in
landed.
the Europe or the UK, I guess C grade 2. But when they come back to the old North America, look for me in the pit because I will be dancing and singing along very passionately. I like this band a lot.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. And hope you like the new digs. We're working out some kinks. But it's going to be good.
Yeah. Welcome back.
And we'll see you next week.
Peace.
Hey.